So welcome to the Wnners Circle. We are starting to do these calls, excuse me, on Tuesday evenings. We sent out a survey company-wide, and we asked for some feedback, things that we could improve on, things that sales partners would like to see. And a lot of people brought up, mindset, success principle, focused webinars and conversations. So this call is going to be more about that. The success principles I'm going to cover tonight is just going to be, very basic stuff. It's going to be the comfort zone and taking responsibility. So these calls are not meant to go on real long. They're not going to be specifically sales. I'm actually going to do my best to keep sales out of it. And mindset is so important. It's just something that, all great people throughout the history of the world have similar mindsets. There's certain success principles that they apply, and they could be anywhere in the world at any point in history and out of any country. And there's just similarities to how ultra successful people think and act, right? They kind of go hand in hand, because what you think about is going to determine, how you feel about things and the actions that you're going to take about them. And it all really starts with having a healthy mindset towards what you want to do, towards what you're going to do. So let's get into the comfort zone here. And then I'm going to open up. I'd love to get people's feedback. The people that requested these, these types of calls, I'm sure are on here. So I'm going to take a point where there's going to be a point where I'd like to open up the line or even call on a couple people, especially going over comfort zone, because I know there's a lot of people on here that what we're doing here with Easy Pay is definitely pushing you out of your comfort zone. And I'd love to get your feedback as we're actually covering the topic. So, what exactly is your comfort zone? Pretty self-explanatory. Your comfort zone is where you find yourself the most comfortable. You're not pushing yourself to do things that maybe you haven't done before or that are out of the normal, right? The word routine to me is like, makes me cringe, right? To have a routine day in and day out can be very healthy to an extent until it turns into your comfort zone. And where breaking that routine, makes you uncomfortable. Comfort zone is pretty self-explanatory. So the problem is it's really uncomfortable to get out of your comfort zone, hence the name, right? Comfort zone. Why is that? Why is it so hard to get out of a comfort zone, especially if that comfort zone and that routine isn't getting you ahead? If there's not a lot of growth going on in your life, and this could be on any subject of your life, where your normal routine and your comfort zone just isn't getting you to where you tell yourself you want to be. So it all has to do with the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind has one job and one job only, and that is to keep us safe. It is to keep us safe, to keep us doing what we know is safe, and to not take risk. Okay, things that involve risk, the subconscious mind labels as dangerous, as risky, as unsafe. Okay, we talk to people, the sales directors, we talk with a lot of people that are, you can just hear their subconscious mind as we're having a conversation, throwing off red flags and pulling them back into their comfort zone. I'll give you an example here. When someone asks, oh wait, there's no salary, so this is a commission only position. Okay, comfort zone, right? That would be very risky to not have a salary. That would be very risky. What if you don't make a sale? What if the bills come and you haven't figured out how to do this business yet? What if? So you got your subconscious mind literally trying to pull you into the safe zone, right? What if you can't pull this business off? That would be dangerous. On the flip side, what if you do pull it off, right? So you got this this grand vision of the possibilities of what we want to do, right? With Easy Pay, we want financial freedom. I don't want the 9 to 5. I want to have more time with my family, with my kids, whatever it is that you want more time with, that financial freedom would get you, right? So that's the reward, which everybody right out of the gate that watches our webinar understands and visualizes that. And then we get on the phone with them and it's, oh, wait, there's no salary. It's commission only. So that whole dream, their comfort zone goes, that's dangerous. I don't know about this. I'm uncomfortable with this, and I don't want you to risk something not working or something or failing, basically. So you can see their comfort zone kicking in and pulling them right back to their comfort zone, even though the vision was freedom, right? So let me ask you, so where do you grow in your life? Do you grow inside or do you grow outside your comfort zone? Usually it's going to be outside your comfort zone. If your comfort zone is literally helping you grow and you just have an insane routine like that, I haven't met or talked to a ultra successful author of any of these books or anyone running these seminars that says, there's a healthy comfort zone. I live in one and I grow every day. I've never heard that before. So I would say that outside your comfort zone is where all the growth is. So what can you expect as you begin to live outside your comfort zone? Well, this is where self-talk is extremely, extremely important. Okay, that can be a conversation for another episode of the Wnners Circle. But self-talk is so critical because as you start getting outside your comfort zone, you're going to have your subconscious mind trying to pull you back in like we talked about. And then on top of that, depending on what outside your comfort zone ultimately is, because we're Easy Pay, I'm going to use it as an example, going out and working a commission-only position. Well, you might expect to hear feedback from people around you trying to pull you back into your comfort zone. Even the people you surround yourself with. So now you're battling your subconscious mind trying to pull you back into your comfort zone. And then potentially you also have the outside world telling you how risky it is and all the things that your subconscious mind's already telling you. So that's why it's really easy for people to stay in a comfort zone, to get trapped in a comfort zone. And, when it's working, people are just surviving in their comfort zone, but they're not willing to take the risk to possibly break out of that just surviving into freedom. So how can you make it long-term? I am a firm believer that in order to make success long-term requires mindset training. Okay, bodybuilders, they do physical training. Athletes, they have physical training. You hear about physical training, right? And then you have education. So in order to be a doctor, there's a lot of training involved. And it's repetitive, and it takes a long time, and it takes a lot of practice. Well, I think success is a category in itself. And the secret to long-term success is mindset training, which is why we're starting to do the Wnners Circle. So think about it this way. Okay, we got a couple of images here for you. A lot of people are really hot or they're really cold, and somewhere in between is that comfort zone. Okay, so people get ahead. Maybe they find something. They're all excited about it. They get fired up. Or even better than that, let's use a lottery winner, right? Somebody wins the lottery, okay? They've been living in their comfort zone. They hit the lottery. And what happens? They increase in heat drastically. But they haven't conditioned themselves for that type of increase in temperature, if you will. So eventually what happens as they get hotter and hotter? Well, their mindset is the thermostat. And even though the temperature goes up, I live in Florida. So if I open all the doors or open the back door in the house, the temperature in the house is going to increase. There's no doubt. It is going to increase. But what will eventually happen is the thermostat will kick on, and it's going to bring that temperature back down to where the thermostat is set. Okay? Same thing when it's cold. I grew up in Seattle. Doesn't snow as much as many other places, but I remember plenty of long winters, snow out in the yard. Same thing. If you leave the back door open, or if somebody's at a really low in their life, something happened, some sort of loss, some opportunity didn't work out, which is plenty of those on this call. Whatever it is, you know, maybe you have a low and the temperature goes down. Or if I left the door open, then the house is going to get cold. But what eventually will happen is that thermostat's going to kick in, and it's going to bring that temperature back up to where it's set. So mindset is the same. This is why mindset, you know, practicing mindset, studying mindset, applying it, and it takes a long time is very important, because from my perspective, the best analogy I could come up with is we're the thermostat. Where our mindset is the thermostat. And yeah, a great opportunity might come, or, you know, you might hit a low, but if your thermostat is set high and you study this stuff and you keep increasing where the thermostat is set, then your highs and lows become higher, right? Life's going to have its highs and lows, but if your thermostat is set higher, it'll always neutralize at a higher spot. That's why we love to continue going to seminars, reading books, things like that, because you keep just setting the thermostat higher. Okay, so once you can do that, you know, as everyone else around you is falling off, you know, you got to set the thermostat. As everyone else around you is falling off, you can keep going. This is where mindset will kick in. This is where it'll separate you from the average person living in their comfort zone, dealing with the normal ups and downs. So right there, real short, just going over comfort zone here. I see a couple of messages in the chat box. Risk creates wealth. That's right, Edward. Danny, 10X. 10X. Danny's coming off of 10X, and it was all about mindset. If you have a chance to go to some webinars, or I'm sorry, not webinars, but some seminars, 10X was an awesome one. And they're usually mostly focused on mindset, because that's what successful people are focused on. So I want to see who we got on this call here before I get into the next little, section, see who can relate with this, and just talk about Easy Pay. Let's raise our hands here for a second. Is anyone here, is Easy Pay pushing you out of your comfort zone? Maybe you're doing door-to-door sales. You've never done it before. It's just something new. Even being on a webinar like this is something new for you, talking about mindset. Sean, all right, perfect. I appreciate you raising your hand. I'd really appreciate it if anyone does have anything they want to say. Again, this is a calmer, easier call here. Sean, I'm getting over to you here. I want to call on you. And any feedback's good. Sean, what's going on, man?
Not much. How you doing?
Doing good. So do you like for starters, this is our first Wnners Circle call. Do you like this kind of stuff? Are you into it?
It's interesting to hear once in a while. Yeah, I've gone to some of this stuff in the past too. So, yeah, I'm pretty familiar with a lot of this stuff.
Yep, I'm sure most people will be in this type of business. So are you out of your comfort zone? You find yourself out of your comfort zone just when you're out in the field, or just in general? Share us your real quick thoughts on that. I won't keep you long.
Yeah, I mean, the door-to-door is not something I ever was really enthusiastic to do. But, you know, getting out there, pushing it, you know, I'm meeting new people. I'm learning new things about my neighborhoods too. So there's a lot of benefits to it, and I'm starting to see a lot of that. So, yeah, it's been a good experience.
Awesome. So the more that you're doing it at this point, you just feeling a little more comfortable? Are you starting to, has that comfort zone expanded, you feel, where it's not as big of a deal as it used to? You're still a little out of your comfort zone, it sounds like, but what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely getting more comfortable with it. The more I do, the more people I talk to, just the easier it gets for me to just relax and be myself out there. So, yeah, repetition is the key to that. You just keep doing it, and you keep getting more and more comfortable with not only with what you're saying, but with who you are too. because, you know, you're selling yourself as much as you are the product. So it's definitely just, you know, it's all about basically practice.
Yep. The more you practice, the more you're raising that thermostat in terms of being comfortable, specifically with us, obviously. So awesome, man. Thanks for jumping on and sharing. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, Michael, I'm coming over to you. Michael Washington, what's going on, buddy?
Hey Joe, how you doing tonight?
Good. How you feeling? Are you in your comfort zone or out of your comfort zone?
I'm in my comfort zone. Like I told you, I have done door to door, and that was decades ago. And doing the merchant services, I was basically on the phone, just setting up appointments. So I didn't go out door to door to talk to people. So now that I have to put the two together and make it as one. And you get your no's before you get your yeses. And like you said, no matter what, it's a numbers game. And what really motivated me more, and I'm being totally honest, is last week when I saw you on the video and you had your other people with you, other salespeople with you, and you was going door to door talking to owners and stuff like that, and getting some sales, and, you know, you had some people you had to get back to. So that really motivated me more.
Perfect, man. I'm glad that helped you out. What was it? Why did that motivate you? Was it something you saw that you weren't doing, or what?
Yeah, it was exactly. It was something that I, you know, certain things with me, you know, I had to learn differently, you know. So in order for me to grasp the concept, I had to do it a different way from anybody else. Like, you can always talk on the phone and etc. and stuff like that, but when you actually go back out there and really let people know and let them know it's about the story and everything else, and, you know, get a better understanding, you can handle it a different way. And that's what I'm about. There's certain things, you know, that I learned quickly than I learned other ways. So like I said, that really motivated me when I saw that video last week.
Awesome, man. I'm glad it was helpful for you. I'm glad that you were able to jump onto it. I appreciate you jumping on here as well. Thank you, Michael. Let's catch up. You know, tomorrow's the 4th. We'll be having a call in the morning anyways, but I'd love to catch up with you.
Okay.
All right, buddy. All right, Ed, I'm coming over to you. Ed, you are unmuted on my end, Ed, if you want to unmute yourself. Edward Content. So to unmute yourself, I think it's on the bottom left. There you go. You found it.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Ed. What's going on?
I'm really excited about the webinar thing, Joe. That I've done door-to-door sales for probably about 30 years of my life. I kind of went over it with you a little bit. You were in the Binghamton, New York area at one time and had a venture with a company up here called Pacific Prime. You know, sales, no matter what you're doing, it is a numbers game. The more people you talk to, the better chance you're going to have at finally finding the yes. But a lot of times, you know, I've done a lot of training in this door-to-door sales, and I've always told people when they got, you know, in the field with me, one of the first things I always tell them is that if you don't hear at least 40 to 50 no's, you're not working.
Right.
So you're gonna hear a lot more no's than you will yeses.
Oh yeah, that's part of it. I can only imagine all the no's that, you know, people that have been door to door like you for a long time have gotten. Myself, obviously, and absolutely, it's just part of it. It's just part of it. So
the webinar was fantastic, though, Joe. I didn't mean to interrupt you, sir, but that, you know, I really that excited me about the business more than anything. The way that you took the guys door to door, like Mike was just saying a few minutes ago, that really pumped me up even a lot more. I haven't really gotten a chance to go out door to door. I'm actually talking to people. Today was my first day where I was on the phones. And that's something that I've also done. I used to do a three-part marketing program for Digest magazine. But I'm really excited about everything. I'm glad to be a part of Easy Pay, and I'm hoping that I could take it to the next level. 10x, Danny, baby, 10x.
10x, man. I'm doing my best to keep it calm tonight, just because it's not that kind of a call, but. Yeah, I mean, those kind of seminars, if Grant Cardone, I'm going to give him a plug here. If he's ever in your area, I mean, I love the guy's audio books, just the way that he's direct and straight, and to see him in person was freaking awesome, and some pretty funny stuff was happening. So go ahead, share one last thing, Ed. Go ahead.
It looked like it was a really big event. I don't know how many people turned out, but Grant Cardone, I watch his videos all the time on YouTube. I'm always watching motivational videos, and that's basically, like I said, what sales is all about: having an enthusiastic attitude. Stay positive while you're out there. The more no's that I hear makes me even more hungrier, because I know I'm going to find a yes sooner or later, and that's what this is really all about. If you put in the work and go outside your comfort zone and put in the work, you will get your rewards. You just gotta work harder for it. That's one thing that I've always enjoyed about commissions. You can work for an hourly pay and get that same paycheck every week and make the company rich, or you can go ahead and work in your own, and sit, on commission and make your own check. So the more work you put into it, the more you get back out of it.
Excellent. Great words of advice, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, you get outside the comfort zone here, and you're building your own business is what you're doing. That's why we're all here. And the money's outside your comfort zone. I've read that in multiple books. I wouldn't even know which one to quote, but all the money, all the growth, all the above, they're all outside your comfort zone. Natalie, you commented up here, yes, out of comfort zone. Natalie, I've got you unmuted. I'll call on you real quick, and then we'll move on here. If you can unmute your line. What's going on, Natalie?
Hello.
So you're outside your comfort zone. Why don't you share with us, since that's the topic here, if you would, what about what we're doing, even right now when you're getting on, talking on the webinar, all the above, what is it that's outside your comfort zone?
Learning something new. I have experience doing door-to-door sales, but the part of learning something new and talking about it is outside of my comfort zone. So, but I mean, that's with everything that you learn new.
Right. So you're comfortable with the door-to-door. It's just the new product for you is outside the comfort zone.
Yeah, feeling comfortable talking about it competently.
Gotcha. Perfect. Well, I'm sure that you're loving the trainings and all the videos that we have and all that stuff in place.
You do a stellar job, and I hear you in my sleep.
I don't know if that's awesome or creepy, but thank you.
No, I don't want to hear
awesome.
you in my sleep, but I watch the video so much that, it helps.
I was just
no.
If you're not dreaming it, then
yeah, you have to, because then it becomes second nature.
Oh, you're on the right track when you're dreaming it. Absolutely.
Yeah, it helps become its second nature then.
Absolutely. I love it. Thanks for jumping on. I appreciate it, Natalie.
You're welcome.
Got it. All right, perfect. So let's move on here to the second part of this. If any more hands go up, I'll call on them at the end here. Clear these boxes. All right, responsibility. So I shot a series, I think it was last year, maybe 2 years ago, called Own Your Life Live. And this is rule number one. Taking responsibility is rule number one. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No way around it. You're responsible for you. You are responsible for what happens, what you're prepared for, the money in your bank account, the relationships in your life, where you get to on time or late. You're responsible for everything that happens. It's your fault. It always has been. It always will be, and there's no exception to this rule. Successful people take responsibility for everything, even for the things that maybe they could try to blame and there's something legitimate, or it seems like there's something legitimate. No, they take responsibility for it. My favorite example, I'm a Seattle guy. I'm a huge Seahawks fan. I love Russell Wilson, and I love how responsible he is, how much responsibility he'll take. They can win a game, and that's the only time you won't see him take responsibility, right? They win the game. They make a comeback, and he'll get up there on TV and, I made some mistakes and this and that, and, I could have done this and that better, but my team was awesome. My team closed it out. And, my teammate Doug made the made the play and this, and I've got some stuff to work on. And if they lose a game, Russell Wilson's up there on camera. You know, he could have been sacked 7-8 times in that game because our O-line sucks. And, you know, hey, my O-line did a great job. You know, my team did this, and that. Obviously, there's a couple things we could work on, but at the end of the day, I didn't pull it off. You know, I didn't come through in the clutch, and I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work on myself, but I'm proud of my team. Go Hawks, right? Something like that. And he just takes responsibility, and that's just, it's automatic. Successful people, they don't blame other people. They don't wait for other people to get something done for them. They don't. So I think most people on this call are aware of this rule, but this is so critical. If you have not taken ownership of your results in life, not just easy pay, forget easy pay on this one, in life, you have to take ownership, and you need to make that choice that it is on you and it is on nobody else. Okay? Until this rule is applied and embedded in you, all the other mindset will mean nothing. There is nothing a successful person can teach you that will help you if you can't accept rule number 1, which is you're responsible. And think about it. There's no one out there. Who out there is going to make your future better than you? There's nobody. Who's more accessible to take immediate action to create results that better your life? Nobody. There's nobody. Now, it's crazy because we live in a world where there's people that feed off of the opposite of this, right? Politicians, the media, all this stuff. You never hear us get political on any of these calls, and we never will, because we're not into that stuff. They feed off it's someone else's fault. And ultra successful people know that that is just bullcrap, right? That is just not the case. Okay? And I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. Just think about it on your day-to-day. I don't know how much TV you watch or hopefully don't watch, but just be aware around you when it's someone else's fault and not yours, or somebody's not taking blame and putting it on somebody else. That's not following the number one rule of taking responsibility for yourself. That's being victim, okay? You can be responsible or you can play the victim, but you cannot be both. Think about that. How many successful victims are there that you can count on both hands? You can't count one. There's no such thing as a successful victim. It doesn't exist. So anytime you find yourself blaming or criticizing or even gossiping, right? Those are symptoms of victim, right? That is not symptoms of somebody taking responsibility for their self. Okay, so you can be responsible for yourself or you can play victim, but you can't have both, and only one of them is going to lead you to success. So which one would you rather be? I love Robert Kiyosaki, the whole Rich Dad, Poor Dad series. I'm going to leave it on this example. And if anyone wants to raise their hand or jump back on, we can. If not, then, nice short call. But in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, there's a point where he's talking about the difference in mindset about money specifically. And at one point, the poor dad said, I'm not rich because of my kids. Right? I have too many kids. I have to work, this and that. So I'm not rich because of you kids. Where the rich dad says, my having kids is why I need to be rich. One of them played the victim. One of them took responsibility. One of them, two same things, obviously different kids, but a dad with kids. Two different mindsets. One of them, I could take responsibility, and this is my motivation to take control of my life and why I need to be rich. And the other one looks at them as the ball and chain, holds them down as a victim, and this is why I will never be, or this is why I can't be, because of my kids. So it's up to you. You can be responsible or you can be victim, but you can't be both. And I share anything Robert Kiyosaki that I can out there. So what do we recommend? The Wnners Circle, Success Principles. Read the books. There's so many great books out there. We just talked about 10X with Grant Cardone. If you want something that's more mindset oriented, 10X is sales. It's definitely mindset in there. But a couple of great ones. I'll just throw one out there. The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. If you haven't read that book, great start. It really breaks down the mindset and differences between the average and the ultra successful. So go read books. That's something that successful people do. Watch motivational videos. Obviously YouTube, there's plenty of places to find any type of motivational video that you want to find out there. Feed the brain with positive mindset training material. Okay, I've got kids, so it's impossible to never have a TV on. It's normally like Nick Jr. or Disney or something like that. But eliminate and minimize the craziness, the victimitis, right? The victimitis TV stations, and there's plenty of them out there. And it's almost impossible to completely avoid it in today's day and age. But do your best to minimize it and at least be aware when you're listening to the victim talk. If you listen to victim talk, nobody's winning there. So actually somebody's winning. Whoever's delivering that message to the masses is winning. That's about it. And surround yourself with winners. This is my favorite part about all these calls, all these webinars that we do. Winners show up to this stuff. They're feeding their mind. They're feeding their business. They're feeding their knowledge, sharpening the sword, taking action. And, that's what it's about. And I'm going to keep promoting it. It's July. We just started July. There's plenty of time. The President's Club, ladies and gentlemen. 50 deals. I mean, we used to have to hit 100. We'd do that pretty quick. 50, you can go get 50 deals. And you're going to be at the President's Club. And the only people there are winners, okay? It's not possible to get to the President's Club if you don't implement some of these, self-motivational things. If you're not surrounding yourself with winners, if you don't have goals, if you're not into the stuff that we're going over, it's very difficult to even get to the President's Club, because that's a big accomplishment. To reach big accomplishments normally has to do with mindset, and the people that are into mindset surround themselves with winners. And I hope to have all of you guys down here in South Florida. We just had, I see a bunch of comments here. I'm gonna get some in a second. We just had Jay Dixon, we had Kevin Mansfield and Danny Almeida down here. I flew them all down to Miami, and I flew them down not because they had the most deals, although Danny's a rock star, 3 to 5 a week kind of guy. Jay's newer. He'd been working the phones. He had one deal when I flew him down. And then Kevin's been with me since, I think, January. And he had one deal in 5 months. Then he blew up. I got like 4 or 5 deals last week. But when I had bought Jay and Kevin their ticket, they were both at one deal. So I didn't fly them here because of the amount of deals they had. I flew them down, and Danny as well, because they have this mindset. When I talk to them, they're hungry. They get it. They understand to read books, and I can talk the language of success. And there's a lot of other people out there I do the same with. So don't think because you weren't flown down here this time that you're not one of them. But they really stood out to me. And since then, all of them have gone out and done very well this week. Jay came down here with one deal. He signed 2 deals in the last 2 days, right? Those are his first 2 days actually doing door-to-door, because he spent a whole month on the phone. Got one deal, but the guy won't quit. His mindset's too high. Came down here, hung out for the weekend. It's Tuesday. He's at 2 $90 deals. He just signed a Conoco today, okay, a Philips Conoco. Where do you think his mindset is at to go home and do that right out of the gate? And that's what it's about. It's about the mindset. And those are the people that I want to get down here to Florida. So, all right, let me check out the chat box here. Danny, you the man. You better believe Danny's the man. Winners win. That's right, Jay. Jay just signed a Conoco gas station. Unbelievable. Fired up selling. Kevin, his seminars are great. Send me an info on that book or books you recommend. Ed, I can do that. Ed, it's called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. And he does seminars as well. And he does 3-day seminars. The one we went to was a day. I got to see T. Harv Eker live years ago when he was still doing them live. But yeah, T. Harv Eker. Is there anybody on here that would like to share anything? Richard or Michael, I don't know if. Yeah, you got it, Edward. If anyone else wants to raise their hand or anything, if not, I appreciate everybody being on the call. I hope you guys like the Wnners Circle. We're going to be doing these every single Tuesday. Sean, you raised your hand. All right, let me call on you. I got you, Sean.
Okay. I just wanted to add one thing, because you were talking about mindset and taking responsibility and the victim and everything. And I think a good example is every day since when we're out there, we hear, I don't know how many no's. Instead of walking away saying, oh, just another no, what I like to do is walk away and say, well, that was a good chance to practice for the next guy. Because, again, you're taking responsibility. It's a practice opportunity. Even a no is a chance to get better, to work towards that yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Every door there's a lesson. There's something, especially at the beginning, every single door. Jay, I saw you raise your hand. Thank you for your feedback and being involved, Sean. Appreciate it. He muted himself. Jay, let me get you on here. Jay, I saw you raise your hand.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, I think like you were talking about the mindset. I mean, we have to really. I'd say for me, it's also, I guess, really believing in the product and just knowing that literally every single business owner that we talk to, we can legitimately help them, whether they know it or not. At the time, that's why most of them are kind of skeptical, just because of the industry. But we have a product like the guy I sold yesterday. I mean, this was like. I mean, there was just like some like amateur stuff that went on. And at the end of the conversation, he's like, man, I'm not even sure how you sold me. And I was like, well, I didn't really sell you. He's like, you're right. It's this product. He's like, this is actually like the best thing that could have happened to my business. Cause I mean, he's saving like $9,000 a year. And all he had to do is simply just listen to me for 30 seconds, hear what I had to say. And he asked me, how can I get started? And it's just like, when you have something that good, you have to really realize that and be okay with putting yourself out there to show it to people, because they want it, even if they don't know they want it yet.
Absolutely. That's a great example there. Do you remember what the main lesson was? We didn't talk about it a whole lot. I only brought it up at the beginning of the video when you were with me down in Miami. Do you remember what the lesson of Saturday was?
The lesson of Saturday?
The C factors. Do you remember C factors? I know we didn't harp on it too much. Do you remember what I said?
I do not.
It's all good. I didn't bring it up. We didn't talk about it in the car. Smile, eye contact, and enthusiasm. And when you believe in the product, like what you're talking about, Jay, you're just going to walk in with a different swagger, right? You're confident and you're enthusiastic about your product. And enthusiastic doesn't mean you walk in the door like, oh my gosh, I got something. You've got to check this out. It's the best thing since sliced bread, and I can't wait to show you. Right? That's too much. But being confident and going in and just knowing you do have the best thing on the block
right,
is a form of enthusiasm without the hype, right? So appreciate the feedback, Jay. Jay, you're a rock star, man. I knew you'd go home and just go tear it up. 2 deals signed to Conoco, unless you've got another one since I talked with you. That's 2 deals in 2 days, your first 2 days back. So
I should have one in the morning, actually. We'll see, though.
That's it, man. Keep up the good work, Jay.
All right, appreciate it.
Yep. All right, any other hands or any other feedback that's out there? If not, we'll cut it short. I appreciate you guys being on here. Before you get off the call, like Zig Ziglar said, you can't sell the cookware if you don't cook. That's it, man. I like that one. I've never heard that one. I always say, would you sell this to your own mom? That's your sign right there. Awesome. I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm just gonna leave it open for a second in the chat box. If you can just leave your honest feedback about this style call. We are gonna continue doing them every Tuesday regardless. Just leave your feedback in there. I'm a step aside. And have a great night, everybody. And I hope this Wnners Circle was a good episode for you. Have a great night.